Did you see what happened? That the Catholic bishops went to President Tinubu to go and talk to him. And one of the cardinals, I think the cardinal from Abuja, that stays in Abuja, was telling him, Nigeria is suffering. The government, the president says it's a lie. That the economy is fine. The bishop said, the cardinal, he said, please, we don't trust INEC. What assurance are you giving us that the next election? The president said, anybody who wants to fight for power, who wants to take power, must be ready to fight for it. In other words, 2027 is not campaign, it's not election, it's fight. Then I think there's another thing. I read that thing and I was weeping in my heart. I said, hey, there is something it takes to lead. It's not everybody that can be a leader. Who am I? See, brother, I want you to assess yourself. There are visions in your heart. Who are you that these visions can come to pass? Who are you? I hope you know that there are people who are vision bearers and there are people who are vision killers. Every vision that enters into their heart has never seen the light of the day. They will make plans, they will strategize, but it will die. Because they are like women who are pregnant, but when it comes to the place of bringing forth, there is no strength to push out for the child. So every vision that they incubate dies. Capacity to produce visions is not in them. Let's check. If you can check the track record of how you started, everything that you have ever started, many of them has never been actualized. It's not because of the magnitude of Pharaoh, it's your capacity. There is a capacity issue in your life. And listen, I wish you will forget about people and build capacity. I know that if a man's capacity is strong in the spirit, God will give him what he's asking for. As of Apostle chapter 2 verse 8 said, ask of me and I will give thee nations for your inheritance. Nations. Do you know what it takes to carry nations? To be a president of a nation. Did you see what happened? That the Catholic bishops went to President Tinubu to go and talk to him. And one of the cardinals, I think the cardinal from Abuja, that stays in Abuja, was telling him, Nigeria is suffering. The government, the president says it's a lie. That the economy is fine. The bishop said, the cardinal, he said, please, we don't trust INEC. What assurance are you giving us that the next election? The president said, anybody who wants to fight for power, who wants to take power, must be ready to fight for it. In other words, 2027 is not campaign, it's not election, it's fight. Then I think there's another thing. I read that thing and I was weeping in my heart. I said, hey, yeah, bro, go and get your voter's card. You will need your voter's card, number one. But if we are not, if the youths of Nigeria are not tired, nothing will change. So when he said it, the reason why I raised the matter is, when it's finished, the cardinal was now the one giving press, press release, doing something like that, broadcast. And he said something. He said, it's as if the president is not even aware of what the masses are passing through. Do you know that it is possible? It is possible that you can surround yourself with people who are telling you. You know, the reason why they have Minister for Information, Minister for this, is so that they will be giving feedback to the president. Am I correct? But you know that those ministers can still be telling the president that everything is fine. Do you know that these people are saying that you are the best president ever? Oh my God. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So I'm trying to say that the capacity to be a president is not easy. You can even be a president, you don't even know what your masses are suffering. Capacity. Who am I? Listen, brethren. Who am I is one thing that this thing will give you. There's an answer that God needs to give you. You don't need the world to define who you are for you. It is either the world tells you who you are, or you go to God and press until your real identity is revealed to you. It is when yourself, your true self is revealed, that you can go to your generation and they will not change your identity for you. Some people went to school, their identity was changed. People told them that, you know, you are not a public speaker. You should actually be inside. Meanwhile, God said you are an evangelist. How can you evangelize without having boldness to confront people? Some people went to school and nothing was given to them. They are now seeing themselves as weak. They refuse to go to God for revelation. See, brethren, every day I pray, let me not die without harnessing my full potentials. There are things you can do, but you don't know that you can do it. It will take revelations for God to open you up to these things. That's why we need a chapter 3 in our life. We need a chapter 3 and chapter 4. If our chapter 5 will make sense. If we can confront Pharaoh, we need to have a chapter 3 in our lives. Where something, a question can be asked to God and He will explain it for you. You know, if I don't know who I am and I come up to this pulpit, I can assume anything. I can begin to even think I'm a worshiper. But God called me. I remember the day He told me you are not even an evangelist. Because I preferred that evangelistic title. Evangelist Daniel. That's what I wanted. I was already seeing myself as such. And then one day we came here. We prayed in the parlor. Finished praying and I entered into my room here. And an angel of the Lord met me. I said, I have not called you to be an evangelist. Those prayers we used to pray those days without sound. And it is for long. Those prayers has a way of bringing interaction with God for your identity to be revealed to you. He said to me, this is what you are. And from that day, anybody that says apostle, I will keep quiet. Before, if you call me apostle in the way, I fight you. It was the day God called me that. That was the day I started keeping quiet when people call me that. Because God has first of all called me that. I don't need you to call me what God has not called me. So when people are clapping, I check. Is God clapping? Because if people clap first before God claps, they will clap you to your death. Capacity. Who am I? Who am I? Can you bow down your head? Just talk to God in 5 minutes.